Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In previous video, I have shown you how to design this sign up page. So if you have not watched that video, then just go to description. There I put the link for my previous video, or you can simply do one thing, just click on the suggestion on the right side of the screen. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to design a sign in page like this one. So we are going to design this in our app. This is the complete app, that's why everything is functional. So I'm going to close this and move back to the app on which we are working. We are working on BD chat. So here you can see this BD chat. Here when I click on this, nothing happens because we don't have the sign in page. So I'm going to close this and let's start this by creating a new activity. So here we come over here into the Java, right click on this, select new and select the activity and select empty activity. Click on this and I'm going to name this one sign in activity. And click on finish. This will create a new activity and new Java class file. So you can see this new Java class for sign in activity is created and one XML file is also created. So we are going to design over here. So just double click on this and now activity underscore sign in underscore in.xml is created. We move back over here. No error is here. Once Gradle build is done, the error is automatically resolved. So move back over here, click on split, and here we can start designing this sign in page. So let me just change this one to linear layout, and I'm going to set the orientation to vertical. So orientation and vertical, and let's start the application once and let's see what will be visible when the application is started. So move back over here. And now launching activity. Here you can see the sign up activity. So we haven't coded on this one, so I'm not going to code in this one. I'm going to change into this one, that is Android manifest.xml. So for now I'm going to put this intent filter, just cut it and put it inside this sign in activity over here. So in previous video I've explained you that whatever activity we want to open when the application start, we have to put these line of code between this activity opening bracket and within this closing bracket. And now if I start this and move back inside this one, and here we will observe that this time blank page is visible. So inside this activity underscore sign in XML, we don't have anything. So that's why it's showing only clean activity. So I'm going to add a new stuff, that is another linear layout inside this one, and then again I'm going to add the image view, edit text and other stuff inside this one. So I'm going to start adding component inside this one. So linear layout, and the width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. I'm going to set this margin. So I'm going to set the margin from all side to 30 dp, and after this I'm going to set the gravity to center horizontal. And after that I'm going to set the orientation to vertical, and I'm going to set the, we don't need to set the ID. Okay, so I'm not going to set the ID. Here you can see this. After this, inside this one I'm going to put some image. I'm going to change this one, that is margin, and I'm going to change this one to margin start. And okay, after this press Ctrl D to copy this line. I'm going to copy this 4 times. And after this I'm going to change this one to margin start to margin end, and this one to margin left. I don't need margin from the top, so that's why I'm going to change this one to margin right, like this one. Okay, so now the error is automatically resolved. Inside this one I'm going to put one image view, because we have to set the image of WhatsApp. So image view, width will be 100 dp and the height will be 100 dp. After this I'm going to set the image inside this one. So I've already provided all the drawable images I'm going to use inside this complete project. So I hope you have downloaded that image. If not, then just go to description, there I put the link for the images. Just download it and add into this drawable file. So I have already added, so I'm going to use this one @drawable and /ic underscore WhatsApp. When I click on this, here you can see this, now we have the image. Okay, so when we missed some stuff over here, so inside this one we have to set the gravity to center, and I'm going to set the image, the background image. So I'm going to set this background at the rate drawable, and I'm going to set this w1, and here you can see this. Now this one is looking nice. Okay, inside this one we have set the image, and now I'm going to set the ID for this one. So ID will be image view. Now close this. Now the task for the image view is done. After this, we need to add few edit text inside this one. So I'm going to add 2 edit text, because we are going to, this is a sign in page, so that's why one is for username and one is for password. So edit text inside this one, we have to start with the username first, or email ID. So I'm going to set this width to match parent and height to wrap content, and I'm going to set the ID for this one to txt email. After this, I'm going to set the margin. So margin bottom will be 10 dp. Here you can see this. Now the text field is visible over here, this one. Okay, after this margin bottom, we need to add some margin top. I'm going to give this one 10 dp. After this, I'm going to set this EMS to 10, and this is the hint. We are going to set, this is email text field, so I'm going to set the hint to email. And you can see this, the email is visible over, but it's in black color, so we can also change the color for this one. Okay, after email, I'm going to set the input type. So this is input type. We need to actually fetch, or we need to put the email in ID inside this one. So text email address, input type. After this, I'm going to set some padding for this one. So padding will be of 9 dp. And I'm going to set some text color. This is of @color, and I'm going to use /light gray, and I'm going to set the text color hint. This will be @color /chat background. I'm going to use this one. Here you can see this, and the text color, whatever inside this one, we can set to either gray or white. Okay, and now restart the application, and let's check if we have something on the blank space. Okay, so let me close this and restart the application once again. Okay, this time here you can see this, we have something, and when I type something inside this one, this is in the white color. If you want to increase the font size of this, then you can simply put it over here, that the font size for this one. Okay, so let me just set few of the properties. Okay, we have set the ID, the color, and everything. If you want to increase the size for this one, whatever the text inside this one, so you can use like this text style, text size, and you can increase the size to 16 sp. If I restart the application, and let's check the size is increased or not. Here you can see this. This time I write it's a little bit larger than the previous one, so I'm going to close this one. Okay, so stop it, and let me just remove this. I'm going to go with the default one. After this, we need to put another text field or edit text, that is for password. So I'm going to add one more edit text, and the width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. After this, I'm going to set the ID for this one, txt password, like this one. After this, I'm going to set this EMS to 10, hint will be password, and input type will be text password. After this, I'm going to set the padding of 9 dp, and I'm going to set the text color to white, @color white, and hint color to gray. So text color hint, and I'm going to set this one to @color /chat background. Make sure you keep same ID for all the text fields. If you don't set this, then while we are designing this in the Java class, or while we connecting or using these stuff in the Java class, you may be confused. Okay, you may get confused. That's why you need to stay focused on what ID you set. Okay, if you change these IDs, then you have to match it again and again if you forget. Inside this one, now our text field is ready. Next thing, we are going to put one image view or text view over here, that is, we click for sign up. Okay, I'm going to set one text view over here. So text view, and width will be wrap content and height will be wrap content, and I'm going to set the ID for this one. So txt, and I'm going to set this one click sign up. After this, I'm going to set this one gravity to, and before we set anything else, I'm going to set the text first so that we can see this. So click to sign up, and I'm going to set the color, text color. I'm going to set this one to @color, and I'm going to set this one white. And now you can see this, we have this over here, click to sign up, and I want this one on the right side over here in this linear layout. For that, we have to set the layout gravity, and I'm going to set this one to right. After this, I'm going to set the gravity as well to right, and I'm going to put some padding. So padding will be of 5 dp, and if you want to increase the font size and also increase, you can also increase by like this 16 sp, or let me just change this one to 18. Just keep it 16 and change the style to bold, text style to bold, like this. And let's close this. We have set the ID and we have set other properties, and this one is looking nice. Okay, after this we need to add few buttons. That will be the sign in button, and again we need two other remaining button, that is for Google and one is for Facebook. So I'm going to add one button over here. So button, and the width will be 150 dp and the height will be wrap content. After height will be wrap content, and after this I'm going to set the ID for this one. So ID will be btn sign in. After this I'm going to set some margin from the top, so I'm going to set this one 10 dp, and I'm going to set the background tint. So background tint will be @color, and I'm going to use this one. You can see this, now the color for this one is changed. After this I'm going to set this padding force from all side to 15 dp, and I'm going to set the text. This will be the sign in button, and here you can see this, I have set everything in first S is in capital and remaining in small. So here you can see this, everything is in capital letters. So why this is? Because by default text all caps is true, so I need to change this one to false. After this I'm going to set the corner radius. So for that we have to use app : and we have to set corner radius, and I'm going to set this one to 8 dp, and now the task is done. And as you can see this, the corner is little bit curved. If you want more curve, then you can increase this corner radius. Okay, after this we need to put another linear layout with the orientation horizontal, so that we can put two other buttons, that is one is for Google sign in and one is for Facebook. So I'm going to put one linear layout, and the width and height will be match parent and match parent. Okay, after this I'm going to set the margin top, so I'm going to set this one to 25 dp, and I'm going to set the orientation to horizontal. We just close this, and within this we need two buttons, so I'm going to add two buttons inside this one. One is for Google and one is for Facebook. So first I'm going to add the Google button. So button, and the height and width will be wrap content and wrap content, and I'm going to set the ID for this one. So ID will be btn Google. After this I'm going to set the margin end to 4 dp, margin right 4 dp, and I'm going to set the layout weight. So layout weight, and set this one 1. After this I'm going to set the drawable left, and I'm going to set one image or icon, and we have already added the icon into the drawable file. So I'm going to use this one, I see Google. Here you can see this, now the Google icon is visible. Here this one. Okay, after this, not to worry that this is the match parent, because we have set the layout weight to 1. That's why it's showing in this format. If I again add one more button, then it will decrease to half of its size. So not to worry about that. After this drawable left, we have to set put some padding inside this one. So padding will be of 15 dp, and after padding I'm going to set the text, and I'm going to set this one to Google, and I'm going to set some, first I'm going to make this one text all caps to false, and I'm going to set the text color after this. So text color will be @color black, and we're going to convert or change the background color to white. So app colon background tint is equal to @color / white, and you can see this now the Google button is looking nice. And I'm going to set some corner radius. So corner radius is equal to 8 dp. Now this button is looking nice. In the same way, we have to add another button, that is for Facebook. So I'm going to add one Facebook button over here. So button and the height and width will be wrap content. After this, I'm going to set the ID. So ID will be BTN Facebook. After this, I'm going to set the margin start to 4 dp and margin end to, not margin end, we need to set the margin left to 4 dp. After this, I'm going to set the layout weight. Okay, after margin left, I'm going to set the layout weight, and when we set this one to 1, and here you can see this, it's automatically adapt according to this one. This is on the 50% and this is also on the 50%. Okay, after this, I'm going to set the background or drawable left. So first I'm going to set the drawable left, that is FB or IC Facebook. Yeah, this one. And you can see this now the icon is visible over here. And I'm going to set some padding. So padding will be 15 dp as well. And I'm going to set the text. So text is Facebook because this is a Facebook button. After this, I'm going to set the text all caps to false. And I'm going to change the background tint app colon, and I'm going to copy this one, these two lines, because we are going to set the corner radius. So copy and paste it over here. If it manually don't show you that after pressing the serial space key, it don't show you in the hints, then you have to manually type it all the way this, then it will be automatically resolved. Okay, so the background color for this one is FB color. We have already added in the colors. If I move back over here, and here you can see this, we have FB color over here. So I have added this in my previous video description. You have to add these color codes over here, or you can just pause the video and add these manually. By default, this much part is available over here. So you have to add these color into your application in the colors.xml. So I'm going to close this one and move back over here. And now you can see the Facebook button is also ready. After this one, we have one more label or text view, that is for sign up with phone. So I'm going to add that one, text view. I'm going to just set this one wrap content, and I'm going to set the ID. So ID will be txt sign up with phone, and I'm going to set the margin top 15 dp, and I'm going to set the text to sign up with phone like this one, and I'm going to set this text color, and I'm going to set this one to @color white. After this, I'm going to set the text size to 18 sp. Now close this, and now let's start the application. And here you can see this. Now our sign up page is ready, but one small stuff is missing, that we don't need this toolbar. So how to remove this? In the previous video, I've already shown you for the sign up button. So we need to move back over here, sign in activity. So let's stop this, and here we have to simply write get support action bar dot hide. Simply call this, and let's start this once again, and let's see if this one is hidden or not. So here you can see this, now this one is hidden. So now our sign in page and sign up page is ready. So we have not connected this with this button, so not to worry about that. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to connect this with this button in the sign up and sign in page. And also I'm going to show you how to connect this with the Firebase database and how to create the Firebase database and connect to your application, and how to perform this authentication with sign in and Google. Everything I'm going to show you in the next video. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and share with your friends, and follow us on Instagram.